We, for the first time, outvoted the Republican Party in Texas for the first time in 20 years. Both the on-the-ground anecdotal evidence and the quantitative hard data all point to that this is the best shot we've had in 30 years to end one-party rule in Texas.
Joining me now is Larry Sabato, professor and director for the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia. He is also the editor-in-chief of the Crystal Ball and our friend. Good to see you, Larry. So we have Tuesday's elections, and they delivered a mixed bag for President Trump. You had in Oklahoma his picks in two races there heading to runoffs after neither candidate, both of them, failed to get more than 50% of the vote. In Alabama, you have Congressman Barry Moore, who, won his Senate runoff. And then Georgia, you have Congressman Mike Collins, who clinched the Senate runoff with a last-minute push from Trump. But do you have any sense that Trump's influence is wavering, or does he have the command he has shown in the past?
Well, he still has command of the Republican Party, which I still think should be renamed the Trump Party, because it is part and parcel of the cult, the MAGA cult. He doesn't always get his way, but his candidates are at least very competitive, and he frequently can push them over the finish line. However, let's remember, we're talking about at most 35% of the electorate. You don't win general election races with just MAGA and with even a big turnout among MAGA. And that's where Trump has really been falling short. He is unpopular, of course, with Democrats, but he's remarkably unpopular with independents. They usually split at most 55-45. And Trump, in some polls, has an unfavorability or bad job approval rating of 65 to 70% among independents. That's where it's going to hurt Republicans this fall.
So there's a headline in Politico, Larry, that reads, Democrats got the candidate they wanted in Mike Collins. Following Trump's win in 2024, Senator Jon Ossoff was seen as a vulnerable candidate among elected Democrats. So do you agree with that headline? Is Ossoff primed to beat Collins? Can Democrats keep that Senate seat for Georgia?
Yes, they can, and Ossoff is clearly the favorite. This is not a toss-up. Now, can things happen that might upset that result? Of course. But, I was at a gathering the other evening. This was not a political gathering at all. And the comment that I got from virtually everyone there was, I am really impressed with Jon Ossoff. Boy, I'd like to see him run for president. Well, who knows what will happen with the presidential race, but he has made such a positive impression. And of course, he's proven it with his campaign treasury. Collins was the weaker choice for Republicans. I don't know anybody who disputes that. He has some rough edges, and that's putting it kindly. And I don't think even some Republicans, certainly suburban Republicans, are very excited about voting for him. So I would put Ossoff very clearly as the favorite.
Here's the money question. Based on the primary season so far, where do you see control of the Senate heading?
I'm going to pull out a year, okay? Let's go back 1 year. 1 year ago, you couldn't find but a handful of Democrats and no Republicans who believed that the Senate would even be competitive. Well, it is very competitive. Now, yes, Democrats have to have everything fall just right to win Alaska and Ohio and Iowa and Texas and maybe other states. But it is plausible. You can see the path. And you couldn't see that a year ago. And this is where Democrats have to show success, not just this year, but in the future. They cannot be restricted to pockets of blue in certain states, particularly for the Senate, since every state gets 2 senators.
Okay, Larry Sabato, another class from you. We'll see you again. Thank you.